I know what you're going to be saying. You're going to say, "Oh, I'm getting so tired of this Epstein thing. It does. I'm so tired of it. Oh, who cares, right? Right? Have you met these people? Oh, you'll meet them. That means they don't understand what's going on. They think this is about Epstein. They don't see this collision course. They don't see what's happening. It's the most incredible thing I've ever seen. I am seeing, as I speak, I am seeing some of the most incredible examples of a conflation, a concatenation of not only Epstein, but Trump, and this weird kind of a hands off playing around with intel. And I'm seeing the pro Palestinian movement explode online. I have never seen anything like this in all my years. Ever. Never. And if you think this is some kind of it doesn't really matter, you really don't know what's happening. This is monumental. This is cataclysmic. Absolutely, positively cataclysmic. At levels and at a rate I've never seen or thought possible. And I'm not exaggerating. I'm really not exaggerating. I mean it like you can't believe. My friends, welcome aboard. Let me remind you, I think you know this. I cannot wait until Saturday night at the cutting room. Do you know what this is going to look like? Do you know what this is going to be? Do you know how all of this is going to explode into space? Saturday night. Tickets available. I have a link. I want to see you meet like-minded folks. This is so huge. Nobody's talking about big, beautiful bill and interest rates and Jerome Powell. No. This is bigger than anything. And remember, we have to watch what's happening. The mayor's race, the Socialist Democrats of America, SDA, Mamdani, how this is working. And if you have any inclination, any tendency whatsoever to look at and to review how, for lack of a better word, how things are basically merging, this is the time to see it. This is the most incredible thing I've ever seen in my life. This is the most incredible thing I have ever seen. So if you would like to join like-minded folks, come out, let's talk, confabulate, because what I'm saying, like-minded folks, we are not a bunch of conservatives. These aren't a bunch of Republicans. We're not a bunch of Fox Newsers. That may be true, but we're a different ilk. We're a different group. So my friends, Saturday night, cutting room, there are the tickets. I want to be there. I can't say this enough. We really don't. Did you hear the latest about this movie, Superman? Superman, and how it is a Palestinian argument, and people are going berserk. Ben Shapiro's losing his mind, and other people are losing their mind. And by the way, this guy Gunn, the producer, was the one who got into trouble, who was fired by Disney because of these absolutely horrific comments that he made on social media and the like. I mean, just absolutely incredibly brutal. It's sick about children and little boys. I mean, it's weird. So maybe he's kind of calmed down. I'm going to say this again. If you don't see what is happening, maybe this is kind of new. It might be kind of new to you. This is bigger than anything that we have seen in recent years. And I mean this. First and foremost, I want to see if I can bring this up to you. If you worked for the president, what would be your advice? If he hired you, said, listen, you've got to help me out here. I don't like where this is going. I don't like what my message is, and I don't like the way I am being portrayed. What should I do? What would you suggest? What would you suggest right off the bat? What would be your thing that you said, okay, Mr. President, let me see if I can bring this in? Is he getting the message out? Is he getting the message out? And by the way, if anybody suggests Trump is done, you're out of your mind. Absolutely, positively, you're crazy if you think Trump is done or he's finished, because there is no replacement. The people who are his most adamant and ardent supporters, myself included, we're not going anywhere. I'm not going anywhere because of this. Are you? Seriously? Are you leaving? Are you going someplace? Where are you going? Where do you think you're going? Where do you think you're going? Tell me. I'm being most serious. You're not going anywhere. Not going anywhere. So people love to say Trump's done, he's finished, no, he's not. Not even remotely close. So why do people say it? Because people don't really think about what they're saying. I don't think people really understand. And you also don't see what's happening regarding something very, 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 very simple. And this is the most important. And I've tried to talk to some folks who were some big time, big shot folks in the New York political theater, as it were. First, let me see if I can explain this. Let me see if I can explain this. We have right now in this country the belief, the mistaken belief, that we have two different parties, Republicans and Democrats, or conservatives and progressives, or I don't know what else is, but we are of the belief that people actually want you to believe this, that there are these two groups of people, and that it's not true. It's not true. It's something that the names mean nothing. Conservative, liberal, progressive, Democrats, they mean nothing. Tell me the name that best describes what you believe in. Tell me the name. Tell me what you call yourself. What is it? Are you a Republican? What are you? What best describes you? Are you a conservative? Are you a libertarian? Are you a constitutionalist? Do you have a name? I have no name for what I am. I can tell you what I'm not. I'm not one of these Charlie Kirk simpletons who thinks that it's this rote kind of simple, black paternal absenteeism, and oh please, enough with this stuff. Enough with this. It's like, yeah, we know that. Thank you very much for that. Thanks for clarifying that. I appreciate it. But we already know that. Tax, or what is it that you do? I don't. What is it? What is the word that you think? Lizzie Solak says a critical thinker. You might be a critical thinker, but they could say the same thing. They could say, I'm a critical thinker, and my critical thinking leads me to believe in this democratic stuff. I don't know. I will tell you who our tent is, and I can tell you immediately, kind of, sort of. There is, in the middle, there's a group of people I was listening to the other day. I was listening to some folks like, I really like, and sometimes I shift. I say, oh, these guys are pretty good. I like the way they're thinking. I think Alex Jones has been better than ever. I think Owen Schroyer has been better than ever. I think they have been probably I haven't seen Paul Joseph Watson and the other guy, Chase, Grace, whatever these folks are. I don't. But they're not, how do I say this? I think maybe some folks are still trying not to do anything to piss off Trump. And because they're worried about maybe pardons or something in the future. I really don't. I don't know. Because Trump is a great friend. When he's your friend and you're his friend, that's the best. When he's done with you, that's it. You're finished. And that's kind of the way it is in life, if you think about it. So anyway. So I don't know where I am right now. This is the thing. Trump is chemotherapy. There is a cancer in this country. I don't know what you want to call it. I don't know. You can give it a name. Leftism, progressivism, socialism, whatever makes you happy. But there is a cancer in this country. And this country is destroying, or this group. And they're not all Democrats. I know some good Democrats. There are Democrats who like from the old days. But there's this new group. There's a loudmouth, kind of a crazy woke type, with the purple hair and all this other kind of jazz. And these other folks. And I don't even know who they are. But they're part of it. But here's the best part. Let me ask you this question. Do you believe, first and foremost, do you believe, is it a part of your political landscape? And you can answer this question all you want. Would you be, is the Palestinian treatment, the Palestinian encroachment, occupation, whatever word whatever you want to call it, Gaza, either pro-Palestinian, pro-Israeli, pro-Bibi, whatever it is. And I'm not telling you right, wrong, or whatever. Is that a critical part of what you're thinking? Is that a critical part? Does that mean something to you? And it's a very important question. Is that something that you consider foremost? There are people that I know who that is number one in their list. The Blumenthals and the Aaron Mates and Katie Halper and all of them. And to an extent, maybe, I think certainly George Galloway, and others, and Judge Napolitano. And this is number one. Number one. Does that mean something to you? The first question is, does it mean something? Are you either pro, and you can say, are you pro-Palestinian, pro-Israeli, whatever you want to do. That's one part of it. If it is, put this aside for a moment. The next question is your issue something even greater? And that issue being foreign governments running your country. Now we're talking. See, I'm of the belief, before I even get to the issue of NATO, before I get to the issue of, I'm not here worrying about Putin, Russia. It's not my concern. It's their concern. I'm an American. The only thing I care about this is when NATO is basically tapping into our funds, and we're funding NATO. We're promoting this. We're giving all this money and this, quote, help, where it's actually lining the pocket of a bunch of despotic criminals like Zelensky and others who are pocketing this, looking to live in their villa in wherever the hell it is, Cyprus, or you see what I'm saying? And the same thing goes to an extent regarding, as far as I'm concerned, Israel and Palestine. Number one to me is, rather than, before we even get into the issue of who's occupying whom, whether there's genocide, apartheid, ethnic cleansing, or whatever, the first question is, what bothers me the most, as is the case with Zelensky, who spoke before Congress, who came with that T-shirt and all that, is foreign governments controlling our government, or our government acting as proxies to foreign governments when we don't have health care for everybody, and we don't have, we just, there's a lot of people out there, folks who really need help, seriously need help, and they've been all but abandoned. You see what I'm saying? Abandoned. That's what gets me. That's what bothers me. Big time. Before we get to the issue, before we get to whether who's right or who's wrong, this is the United States of America, not a satellite of Israel. Nothing against Israel. I'm not one of these people who I have no enmity. I am a member of a country, a citizen of a country, I should say, who during the 60s wanted to basically annihilate Vietnam. Annihilate it. For reasons I still don't understand. So far be it from me to say, hey, Israel, look at what you're doing. We did the same thing. We have been at war 95% of our existence. We have 750 bases in 80 countries. I mean, I cannot tell Israel, how dare you? We do this. See where they're blasting Syria today. Why? Well, Israel's doing it, but we're doing it. We're giving them, those are our bombs. We're doing it. So first of all, make sure you understand, this is my thing. Before we get to the particular cause, before we talk about whether Putin was right or wrong, or was it, I'm not interested in that. My first question is, my first position is, why are we funding this, putting billions of dollars? None of our business. None of our business. Sorry. And then you can also say, okay, second of which, or next in line in terms of my theater of disagreement, is I don't like what's going on. Fine, I get it. So understand, I'm a very, very simple person. Before I get to the issue of whether Bibi's a killer, whether Palestinian this, Balfour Declaration, whether it's an occupation, the West Bank, Gaza, whatever. Before we even get to that, I want all of our money here. Then we'll decide whether we can help, whether there's perhaps if there's genocide, but whatever it is. First, it's none of our business in terms of using our limited funds. You got it? You got it? It's like you all of a sudden being, you're going paycheck to paycheck, you're scared out of your mind, and all of a sudden somebody comes up to you and they got their cup out and they're asking you for money, and you're saying, what are you doing? We don't have the money. We don't have this. Okay, you got that? I don't like countries having a stranglehold on our government and our president. Whether it's NATO, whether it's Bibi Netanyahu, that's it. Period. Okay. That's different than what we're seeing in the Zoran Mamdani case and the Democratic Socialists, who are saying they are against the involvement in support of Israel or helping them. Morally, Mamdani, the next mayor of New York, wants to arrest Bibi Netanyahu. Arrest him. Now, what is so interesting now, and what nobody is understanding, is I need to get to the president and I need to say, it just changed. It just changed. 10 years ago, you could pretty much not quell, but either the Middle East or Israel, they had its detractors or defenders, depending upon how you want to look at it. But we got a problem right now. We have Tucker Carlson agreeing with Mamdani. We've got Steve Bannon and Greta Thunberg agreeing with each other. You've got Nick Fuentes and Candace Owens agreeing with Katie Halper. You just, this left and right is a different story. Warren Ocasio says, immigration is my issue. I may tolerate anything after that one is solved or clarified. Thank you. You mean illegal immigration. You mean the violation of American sovereignty. That's what you mean. Not immigration. Immigration's fine, and we really have benefited from it. It's illegal, unkempt, unwarranted, unregulated. That's what we're talking about. Okay? That's what we're talking about. Big time serious. That's the issue. Okay? Let's make sure we understand that one. Because that's what I want people to understand. That's what I want people to grasp. That's the issue. That's the most important thing in the world. I want people to understand and grasp this notion of that. Okay, fine. Now, and I agree with you and thank you. So, Mr. President, what are you doing? What are you doing? You've got a problem here, sir. And you've also got a problem when you keep having, or other people have, Alan Dershowitz explaining the Epstein case. Why does why does Bibi, where is Elon, by the way? Why do people insist upon Alan Dershowitz being the voice of Israel when he has hit that saturation point? He's a very smart guy, knows his subject inside and out, eminently qualified lawyer, but he's hit critical. We need somebody new. I don't get it. It's just like we have to get rid of this Anna Kasparian, whatever, emphysema, whatever. You got to get rid of her. Screaming, the strident, the screaming and yelling. You got to do it. There's a wonderful, as you know, George Galloway plays to his crowd. There are other people who find his particular take obnoxious. So what am I trying to do? Am I trying to persuade people? Or am I trying to preach to the crowd? If I want to preach to the crowd, I'm going to go to my group and say, da, 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 da. But if I want to change people, I've got to get people who are either unsure about Israel or about Palestine, or who maybe thought one way, and I'm going to bring them around. So how do I do that? Do I yell at them? Do I browbeat them? Do I keep saying the same idea that Israel has a right to exist, October the 7th? Or what do I do? And we'll talk about that later on. But the president has got to understand. And Israel, if you want to do this, you've got to change your PR machine. And this is not working. This is not working big time. Simple. You have to have somebody who is. Have you seen these folks? Have you seen these people like these Piers Morgan, these ones who were screaming and yelling? And it's the most ridiculous thing I've ever heard in my life. Okay, put that over there in that pile. Next, we'll talk about Epstein. Epstein is an unforced error, an own goal, one of the most stupid things I've ever seen. This was not even important. This was not even critical. And Pam Bondi, bless her heart, I'm not saying she did it. She might have been told to do this. But everything was fine until that last time when she said, I have it on my desk. They needed me immediately. And we say, first of all, we have to coalesce. We have to bring together our argument. What is our argument? What is it that we are trying to say? What is it? Tell me. What is it that we're trying to say? What is it that we're trying to bring about? What is it that we're trying to explain? What is it? Tell me. So what they did was they talked about files, lists, logs, documents. It was the most stupid thing I've ever heard in my life. Well, I've got a list. I have a list. It's actually files. And the files, I didn't mean the list. I've got files. And the files are also JFK. Oh, God, don't bring that again. See, they think they can keep dangling this. This is very serious to us. It's very serious. And to our group, and to our neck of the woods, and to our folks, I am telling you 100%, do not mess around with anything involving children. I just did a brand new video. I hope you see it. It's on this thing called, it'll be out tonight about 8 o'clock. Make sure you subscribe to Lionel Nation. And it is a beaut. Let me read this to you. Let me read the title. It is good. And it is going to be called, the title of it is called, let me see, it is called, yes, MIT hosted a pedo robot panel while taking Epstein's money. Unbelievable. unbelievable. They just don't, nobody seems to get how this thing works. And when you say this to my group, namely us, we go berserk. And for the longest time, it was interesting. The people who heard us say this called us conspiracy theorists and kind of crazy because we had this weird kind of a habit not to countenance, not to approve of, not to allow, not to look the other way when children were the subject of this. They actually use this as a form of conspiracy theory, that we were crazy, that we believed in everybody is involved in these channels. Well, you never let people speak for you. I don't know if we ever said that, but we sure did say that it is bigger than anything anybody's ever seen, that there is a concerted effort on the part of a lot of people to look the other way. There were a lot of folks who said, for whatever reason, that this is really no big deal. And the people who said it, by and large, were the left. And we simply could not understand it. We could not understand how, in the name of God, are these people how are they doing this? How does this thing work? How are these people on the left allowing this? Why are they going after our children? And we spoke about it repeatedly. Remember this? And they said, we're crazy, you're crazy. That we had some kind of a weird penchant. I don't understand it. Remember, we determine who we are. We don't let anybody speak for us. We don't let anybody else speak for us. We know what's going on. So this Epstein thing, if you think for 1 minute, if you think, well, we're getting kind of tired of it, they want you to think that. They want you to think this. How long has this been going on? I sound like Squeeze or Paul Carrick. How long has this been going on, and how long have we been looking the other way? And it's not just Epstein. It's everywhere. It's CPS. It's children. It's international. It's trafficking. It's organ harvesting. You name it. And we aren't backing off. So that's our thing. And Mr. President, you've got to address this. And when you say, well, because sometimes the president, as good as he is not the clearest explainer in chief. And sometimes he says things that sound kind of like, well, it's kind of weird the way he says it. He'll say things like, and there might be a lot of good people on that list. And I'm thinking, who taught you how to speak? He is not somebody who is able to riff, and yet they allow him to do it. And I will never understand why they do this. They allow him to riff. It's nuts. It's nuts. Cobb says she spoke of 10,000 kids of abuse, yet now dismisses them. Who were the abusers? We're supposed to believe Epstein alone, 5 kids daily for 5 years. No, you're right about that. See, I told you the way I would have done it, and I would have explained it with my focus being the individuals themselves, the victims. Look, it comes down to simply this. Do not think for a moment that this is some kind of an irrelevancy. It's not. This is huge. But more importantly, Mr. President, CPAC, Charlie Kirk even had to do it. When you have that Dave White or this comedian blasting, who's a Jew, blasting Bibi Netanyahu, blasting Israel. This is something you'd better address and address quickly. Don't dismiss it. Don't think it's unimportant. It's extremely important. It's extremely critical. I mean, mind-numbingly critical. Mind-numbingly critical. And when you have people who normally would have nothing to do with each other, all merging together. This is what I'm trying to tell folks in New York and the big power brokers here who either are promoting Curtis or whatever. It's like, you don't understand what's happening. I don't think people really understand how politics work. I think they think in terms of, I went to something the other day where somebody suggested that the real answer is going to be turnout. It's like, I know that. But see, I see grays. I see shades of gray. Make America gray again. There's no black and white at all, period. All right, my friends, I want to thank you for that. Warren Ocasio, thank you. Cobbs, thank you. Don't forget, follow Mrs. L. She has a brand new video dropping later. I've got one here dropping. Make sure you are subscribed. And members, you get to see it right now first. It involves this MIT weird laboratory. And I've been talking about the notion of having dolls performing things which, if performed by a human, would be disgusting. And how much is the First Amendment we would be able to tolerate. Don't forget, Saturday night, Cutting Room, tickets available. Go. Links are there. I want to see you there. We will continue this. Tomorrow morning, don't forget, this evening, 1 to 5, overnights, WABC. Join me. Today it was, you've got to hear it to believe it. It's completely different than this. Completely. It is, dare I say, more convivial, more friendly, less hardcore, but crazy in a good way. That's what happens when you do overnights. All right, dear friends, have a great and a glorious night. Thank you so much. It means so much that you're with me. We love you. On behalf of Mrs. L and the entire crew, I always remind you, as we always end with this valedictory, the monkey's dead, the show's over, sue you. Da-da.